Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to our crafting where we learn, grow and craft together. Today we start a new series and I decided to do an art journal with you. I've been toying with the idea for quite some time to start an art journal process to show you how I go about it. Now, as with everything else that I showed you, none of what I'm telling you is mine. I can't coin it. It's not a new invention, nothing innovative. It's not mine. It's been around for many years already. Art journaling. What is art journaling? So let's start with this first. What is journaling? Journaling is a form of a diary where you record important events. Now, this can be on a daily basis. It can be on a weekly basis, monthly. It can be seasonal. It can be with holidays, linked to holidays like Easter and St. Patrick's, Valentine's, whatever you want it to be. Now, our journal is a visual diary. It is a way of allowing yourself, of expressing your ideas, thoughts, your feelings, emotions, memories, all of those things in a creative way. You can use any type of art form that you like to do. So nothing stressful because that's defeating the objective. So anything that you like, whether that is collage art, whether that is cross stitching, whether that is painting, watercolors, acrylics, it can be whatever you want to do. It can be stamping, it can be a mixture, it can be mixed media art. It is as unique as you are. Each person's art journal is going to look different. It opens up endless possibilities, like absolutely endless possibilities for your artistic experimentation, I can call it that. And you're putting it on a page a day or something like that. So it's for you to decide what you're going to do, what you feel like, what medium you want to use. Maybe it's a combination of those things. And the beauty of it all is there's no prescriptions, no judgment, no criticism, because it's your expression, the way that you see things. And on top of it, it helps to curb anxiety, depression, and it gives you a way to work through things, sort of meditation. It's a mindful activity. And I have mentioned mindfulness a couple of times in the last couple of sessions, weeks, and even over time. That's why we do art, is to have that creative outlet. Some people go to the gym. They are these fitness fanatics. That works for them. Other people have got other ways too. Maybe they dance, they join a club, they do whatever. And having an art journal is just one of those things that helps us cope in some way. So let's jump right into it and I'll talk you through this process. We'll get it going for a couple of weeks and then I'll let you do your own thing. Each one do their own thing. You do you. Embrace the imperfections. Even if you think it's a mess, it's still beautiful. In the next person's eyes, it might be like, wow, that's amazing. So never doubt yourself. Let's get started. So to start with the art journal, you need something to work on. I decided I want to use some paper. I've got an American Crafts smooth cardstock pad here in primary colors. This is 12 by 12 inch paper. I've got, and now this I pulled from the paper pack I'll show you now. This is so many years old already. I've got this, I've used it before. I love this color. These days I keep on touching this and I look at it because I love it. It's also quite a few years old already, but it is both sides. Now this is a little bit flimsy. I was thinking of using that. This is the paper pack that I'm talking about that is so old already. Where I am, crafting is not very big here. So I bought this at a time where I got it and I was like, oh, I will never get it again. I better buy it. And it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but nothing for what I want to use it. So what I do sometimes is I will use it to make cards. If I have something simple, we'll use this as a background, just add a flower or a butterfly to it. Really lovely. Honestly, some of this is really gorgeous. I love this part. It's typically me, the colors, but not the brown. I don't like the brown with it, to be quite honest, but it is a beautiful set. I can't tell you the paper back. Does it have a name? No. So I can't even tell you because the front of this torn off. Where it is, I have no idea. So I cannot tell you whose paperback it is, and really I'm not dissing them. It's just not completely for me. I'm just looking for something that I would love using. I kind of like this one. I think I will stop there and not bother a lot about it. Now it's not double-sided, it is only single print, so I'll just get this out, which also proves to be kind of tricky sometimes. I want to use this one and maybe another. Let's see, and I'll show you what it is that I love this. Why haven't I used that before? So there's how many in the back. Let me just see quickly. Yeah, 2 of each sheet. Like this I would love to use. This is also gorgeous, but I would love to make a card of it. That would be a beautiful card topper. Don't you agree with me? Even that will be gorgeous. I must actually start doing that. And just, I love this. I think I showed you this back before. I mean, it's beautiful, but there's just too much glitter on it for me to use in journaling. This would have been a beautiful page, was it not for this? I would have loved it. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. Yes, that's about it. So I am going to trace circles on here, and I'm coming back, and we'll do maybe 2 circles together, and the rest I'll cut out off camera. I'm using a foam disposable plate as my circle, and I'm tracing it with a pencil on the back of these scrapbook papers, just making sure that I can see the circle all the way around, all the way around. It is kind of difficult for the board. All right, so there we have that. I've got both layers here, both of them, and I'm going to cut the 2 of them at the same time. You know me, I do not cut each thing separately. If I can manage 3 or 4 sheets, I do that. Same with fuzzy cutting. We're moving our paper rather than the scissors. Now, the scrapbook paper is a whole lot thicker than normal when we are fuzzy cutting. So you will see, and oops, I almost cut into my circle. It is a whole lot thicker. It is harder to cut, but you will see I still move my paper when I am cutting out. Now, this I will keep together and probably use in another project soon enough, because I try to work off my scraps like that. So I've got those 2. This goes directly into my scrapping, because this can be a heart, it can be anything that I want it to be. Just a little bit of bling somewhere along the line. Now, where did that come from? Tiny little whatever. Anyway, so these pieces I keep, and I will be using it for another project, giving me a chance to make a card. This will be a lovely 5x5, 6x6, 4x4, 3x3 card. I can have different parts. It can be a background where I cut pieces and spread them across. And even that is quite gorgeous. I love the back, like I said, but not entirely my cup of tea with every project. So what I have here, and I'll show you now, is a selection of some pages, and we'll take it from there. So I've got this. These 2 will be used as my front and back of my art journal. I decided a circle. You don't have to do a circle. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. In here, I've got a selection of pages. I've got 12 altogether. I've got some white, I've got red, I've got pastels, more white. I've got this, it's not a true purple, it's more of a lavender color. Lime green, I've got yellow, more white. Then I've got blue, pink, and black. And as I said, this would be my front and back then of my journals. Now, for the cover, I've used these. I told you before, I have this friend that saved me these pieces of cardstock that would otherwise just be thrown away as it comes in the laundry. So I will be gluing this together to make the front cover and the back cover, and I will then just cover this one. I will think of a way to cover that one still, but right this moment, I haven't thought of anything yet. Maybe I should just pick another 2 and just do that and cover it and get it over and done with, or maybe just simple paper. Let me just think a little bit about that while we first get these 2 to glue together, and then we can work on the front and the back covers. So what do we need? We need glue. Of course we need glue. Liquid glue will do the trick, because I need this to have a good and solid bond. For this, I don't mind if there is some glue running out. It's on the cutting mat. I can wipe it off with a wet baby wipe. Oops, I just put glue directly on the cutting mat instead of on my project. Oh my goodness. How was my hand-eye coordination not working in that moment? But it's fine. We'll just quickly tap this, put it together, line it up. Get that card, you know, that card that I talk about so much, that has proven to be a very valuable craft tool. I use it so often. Let me just grab a wet wipe. There we go. And that can now just take its time to settle while we do the next one. And then I'm going to just cut another 2 circles, I think. Well, first select paper. And I'm just thinking, do I want something that is unified for the inside? You can add glue the way you would like it to go. It's really up to you. Just make sure that it glues well together. can use whatever glue it is that you would want to use. Going to add this on top of each other and burnish it. And yes, when you cut out things by hand, it is never perfect. You can see that. It's never perfect. As you can see, there's some of the grey background of this cardstock showing, little shark's teeth and a hole right there that is showing, but it's fine. We don't want to start trimming that because it will then be smaller than our actual journal. Now, while those two are just, I'm going to put it underneath my cutting mat so that there's a bit of weight there. Then I'm going to grab this lovely paper back yet again. And yes, I've got it right next to me. And the others that I just cut came out as well. Now we've got this one already. Now we've got the smaller one. But we want, that would have been beautiful for the inside. Now let's see if our paper plate fits in there. Sure enough. And it actually does. So that one will fit. Now I just want to trace this one because this now needs to be cut individually as far as you possibly can to the side of it. Maybe a little bit in. There we go. And yes, if your marks are too dark and you don't like that, this is working. So one sheet is done. Then I can use the scraps for card bases, maybe tags, you know, Happy Mail or stuff like that. I just moved my, there we go. That is done. I can now cut this out as well. What did I say? I'll just do two on camera. And I then went ahead to decide and change my mind and to include the insides as well. So let's do this quickly. Normally I would have put these two on top of each other. However, here it is a bit impossible. So we'll have to cut this out individually. And yes, I am physically cutting this out. Not fuzzy cutting with the thickness of the actual paper. It is almost impossible to fuzzy cut. There's the one circle and now this last one as well. If you feel, you see you have the pencil marks and you don't like that, you can run an eraser over it just to erase that. And then this will directly go into the scrapping. I'll pull that off. Smaller parts, again, those can be hearts. You can turn it into strawberries. That's just how my mind is working. And this will go to the bigger scrapping so that I can use it in a project, which I normally do. I first see what I have before I start cutting new paper. That's how I control my scraps. That was now chalk. My nails scraping against the cutting mat. Awful sound in your ears. My apologies. This one is not so dark, though there are lines that are still visible. And there. Right, that's done. See how the color of the actual paper is coming off. It actually sits on the eraser as well. So, right, now, while this, I'm sure, is now set, we can do the one side of this in pretty much the same manner. And it does look as if it is a bit smaller. How in this world is it smaller if I use the same thing? I can tell you it's the way that I had actually. It's okay, we will make it work. We will make it work. Now, sometimes the nozzle of the glue closes up. And then just clean it, pull off the front part, and it's ready to go. Now, one side will have our inside cover, the other will be the front. Now we're doing the inside covers now. Why did I decide on a circle? Well, I can almost hear you ask those questions. I have no idea. I just wanted something different. It will challenge my creativity, not to work on the same thing, not to have white pages for every page in the journal. It sometimes helps to just get something else done. Now, this is truly not fitting in. As you can see, for some or another reason, it is so much bigger and smaller. I don't know how it works, but anyway, there we have it. We'll just make sure the ends are gluing down well. We don't want this to lift up. Yes, you can see a lot of white there. We will make it work. We will make it work. Now the next one, same way, just add some glue on one side. You can distribute the glue a little bit more evenly, but I feel this actually helps to do that when you are gluing it down. And I just smeared something there. Let's see if we can get that off. There we go. Now the other side, just checking if there's any glue on the edge. Nothing. There we have that. Now the other side. Let's see, I must just run a wet wipe over here as well, because sometimes things do get stuck on it. Now, either way, one for the one and one for the other. Same process. So this is the cover, a whole lot more sturdy than it was, just having the scrapbook paper. This is the back cover. Now this one will be the front. So today we will just get the journal together, and I will show you how we do that. You know, there's something I didn't do, which will probably be very difficult now. I should have punched in the holes first before I sew, and then line it up with the punched holes. But that's a little bit late for that now. Now I was a bit overzealous here with the glue as well. I will just smear this a little bit in, but then I have to work real quick. You know that I'm in a desert environment, and here everything dries real quick, like real quick. Sometimes too quick. Right. So there's our covers. Yes, there's a bit of white and there's a bit of white. It's not a problem. And I will show you what we do to camouflage that. But right now my worry is to get the holes through these covers. Biggest worry now is to get the holes in this cover. How do we do that? Both front and back covers. So a bit of a challenge. Let's see. We can't work on this immediately. It will be difficult. Or maybe I should try it now while it's still trying to actually settle. So let's see quickly. So it's about 18 centimeters long. Let's see the width of it. So 18, so that's perfect, even though it's not the straightest of it all. Can you even see what I'm doing here? Let me move it there. And I want to just make the 2 holes, and I'm thinking of tying it with a little ribbon so that you can untie it and open up if you want to, so that it's not permanently bound. You can, when you are done, then make it a little bit more permanent, but for now I do not want to do that. I'm going to put holes in to bind it for now, but I'm thinking about this little black ribbon that I've got here. Small piece, but it should be fine. Tying it up will be in contrast with the bright colors, and I think it should be fine. You can measure it. I'm just going to guess that this is half. If I look at this, this is half. So I'm going to make a mark there and one there. I think that's sort of okay. And then I'm going to try with all my might to punch a hole in there. Once I have that, I can do the back cover, and then we can try and get the pages. Now this is already buckling, as it is quite thick, maybe too thick, but let's see how this goes. I'm going to use my crocodile. I want the bigger one, so that should be fine. I think that will be perfect. So let's see if we can manage this. Let's see. Oh, look at this beautiful thing. It's going through all these layers. Now, my pokey tool so that I can see the hole again. because look at that. Look at all those layers that it punched through. It's quite amazing. That was from the other day. Now just to poke the second hole here, or punch the second hole. Let's get this sorted. I think I want to move it a little bit that way. So there we have that. Again, for the back one, it will probably be the same. Now this, there we go. It's quite thick. I mean, there's 2 cardstock layers and 2 scrapbook layers that this punched right through. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm lining this up as best as I can, and I'm going to make a hole. You know what? A pin would work better, because a pin will be more visible than that. And there we have that. So let's do that as well. Line it up and punch. Poke tool, which for me is just a paper clip. And this one is a bit sitting in there. There we go. And the second one. For the papers, it will be easier because that is simple American, what was it called? Arts, I think it was American Arts cardstock. Smooth cardstock. It's not even bezel, so it's not textured. It should be fine. Going to do the same thing there, however, use a pencil to just mark the spots. And we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 sheets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 6. Let's see if it will go through that. Going to do the same thing, lining this up. And let's see if the pencil will work. Yep. You can see that on there. This has got almost, I don't know what type of cardstock is this. There's a piece of blue there. And then just putting it there, do the same thing on this pile. Altogether about 12 sheets, we counted them, right? Now to punch holes in here. And I just used the small punch for that. Can you imagine that now? But it's okay, it's easily rectified. Just redo it with a bigger one. There we go. So we've got that now. And then the last pile. And then we can start putting in the eyelets. And yes, I am going to put eyelets in all of them because I want it to be strengthened. Remember, this is an art journal. It will be handled a lot, possibly both sides. So it will be having a lot of traffic, paging back and forth and this way and that way. So eyelets. Now, which did we have? That in front and then there. This can easily be adjusted. So the next step is to put in the eyelets, and then we are going to bind it. I have shown you before how to add eyelets. With this, it's very easy. After the hole is punched, you put in your eyelet, and then you just set it with the eyelet setter. Now, I just want to make sure that I turn this and get the right one. There we go. So that that can actually set it. I think I've got gold eyelets. We'll see in a moment what I have. So I'm going to put gold eyelets in. The way we do that is just pop it in there. Use your crimper. Wait, and I just dropped it. Always do that. The minute that I move my cardstock or paper, then it pops out. And then I line it up. And we're going to crimp it. Can you see it's now hanging on that? And then we just crimp it. And there it is. Done and sorted. So I'm going to do one more, and then I'll do the rest off camera, or some of them off camera, and I will just show you how we will just put this together, and then it is ready for the next time that we will start using the art journal. And we will do the cover. I think we will decorate the cover a little bit. Not too much, just a tiny little bit. And there we have that. That's how that will look. And yes, I do have different types in here. That's why you will see the one is a little bit thicker than the other, but it's still fine. And then the whole idea is to get that sorted, and we can thread it through. So I will be back in a little bit, and we'll just pretend that the whole thing is done. I just want to do the cover, so maybe 2 pages, and then I'll show you how we bind this. Right, all the pages are not completely eyelet. I did not add all of the pages. It will take quite some time, but I want to show you how we will string this together. So I'm going to start with my back cover, and I'm just going to lace the ribbon through. It's just this small one, and I'm going to add my pages. I will deassemble it again and just add that. So because these ones have got eyelets on, yes, but these ones don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line them up so that the eyelets are all aligned, lined up nicely, and that should make the threading of the ribbon so much easier and a quicker process. So you can see that I'm lining this up. I'll just push up and through just to make sure they are actually lined up nicely. Do I have something that I can quickly use? I've got a skewer. Just push them through, and there you have them all nicely lined up. So that's something you can remember if you've got quite a few to line up. Now, if I had a small little, don't pull that out now, maybe small, tiny safety pin, this would have worked beautifully. And look at the pages now, not doing what I want them to do. Let's just, and there we have it. So sometimes it helps to bring in the big guns, which in this case is a skewer. Now for the last page, I will deassemble a bit later to punch, to set the eyelets. But I want to just show you the process of doing this. And what am I doing? Do I even know what I'm doing? Sometimes I can confuse myself with the slightest bit of effort. Doesn't take much, I can assure you. There we have that. Now, I want to tie this with a simple little bow. Not difficult at all. And there we have it. Maybe a double knot that will be not too tight, just to hold it. And there would be my journal. Now I need to still put in the rest of the eyelets. So this is the journal. We can now go ahead and actually decorate the cover. You can put on it what you want. It's yours. Like I said earlier, I would love to work in a different shape, hence this circle. And you can see it does have that leeway, but not as much when we want to open it up. This way it falls open. That way it doesn't. And that's why I wanted the ribbon. Yes, you can put in something like a metal ring. I wonder if I have some metal rings close by. I suspect I do. Or you can simply just open it up and work on your page. You can still make a little tie. You know, we're not here. Keep it together for a moment so that your pages are together. And this is what I like to do at this point. Just not so tight. A bit of space. And yes, it might not make sense to you right now, but that's what I like to do. That way I can still maneuver my pages and I can still tie this as much as I want to. If I open up, you will see I can still undo that knot. It's not permanent. Now you have enough space. If you want to take out the sheet and you want to work over those, it's fine. You can do that. You've got both sides. You can start working, and every page is a different color, which is what I like. My mood changed too much. That sounds scary, I must say now. It just means what I tried to say is that I love turquoise. I love bright colors. My favorite of favorite colors is the dark violet purple, what we call cerise pink. Other people will refer to it as hot pink, and that bright orange. I say citrus orange color, that you will have a beautiful ripe orange. Well, those are my favoriteest colors. These days, I love the jade greens. I call it jade, but aqua teal colors. Very, very beautiful. But I also love lime green. I love any shade of purple. I love yellow. White is also beautiful. It is pure, it's clean. Pink in all its variations. Blue, I like blue. Dark greens, sure. I even love tan. So I can assure you that I wouldn't just want to have a palette of only greens or blues or purples, pinks, browns, blacks. It will make it too, I can't say ordinary, but I will get tired of it really quickly. And that's why I've chosen different colors. You can choose newspaper for all I care. And I'm not saying this as to say it nonchalantly. I'm saying it that if you want to use newspaper as your background, just make it a little bit more sturdy by gluing it down on cardstock. It can again be repurposed cardstock, like what I've used here. It can be something, maybe school projects of your children. If you're doing this for the first time, it's fine. I would love, and I will probably do put some newspaper in here because I love the print of newspaper. If you want to use magazines, it's fine. But remember, you can't put a lot of liquid to that. Liquid glue and liquids like paints, watercolor, acrylics might just warp the paper or soften it so much that it will tear. It will not be long lasting. If you then glue it down on cardstock, it should be fine. Old calendars, scrapbook papers, pamphlets, the backing of old books. You know, sometimes you find notebooks that have got a stiffer paper at the back, you know, the cover of the book. You can use that. It will all be beautiful because you can make it into what you want it to be. I could have used old cards. Cards would be perfect. You got some birthday cards, Christmas cards, whatever lying around. You could bind that all together. I would cut it up somehow because you need that space to see what I've done here. There's enough space for me to work on it. It's not so tight that I can't get it open. It's giving me that leeway. I can work on this without me worrying that I will smudge this side. And you can leave it to dry. And it's ready for the next time. Maybe next time you feel you want to work on this, you can then work on the inside of your cover, or you can go to a pink, or maybe you feel it's cold where you are, it's a particularly cold day, and you would want to talk about the feelings that is then settling in your heart. Maybe you feel despair, or whatever the case might be, and it warrants you to do a page on it. Maybe it fits your mood for that day. Maybe white. Maybe you have experienced the goodness of humanity and you want to show how clean they are. And I'm not talking physical appearance. I'm meaning the act that has happened. And you want to do that on a white page. It's there. Maybe it's a sunny day. Maybe it's a summer day. Maybe it's spring. I see the lime green here. Maybe it can resemble a spring day. Whatever the case might be. So this is it. I have been rambling a lot. I would love to decorate this. It will probably be some sort of a... I don't know. I can't even say that this will stay the way that it is. For now, it might be that. But it might change as we go on. So I think I'm going to retrace my steps. I said we will decorate this. I think I will keep the decoration of my journal till I know the feel of this. For me personally, I would like to keep this very personal and show growth. I've got something that I want to work on personally, and to me that will be it. Now when we page through the journal again, I can tell you right now, it will not be so that you can see what I have written about. That will be hidden journaling, so you will see the elements but you will not see the writing, for obvious reasons. Journaling is quite personal. It is pertaining me. What I write about is I'm going to be very blunt, none of nobody's business. And I would not also want you to feel obliged to share what you have done. So when I'm asking you to share what you have done in your process of developing skills and finding your own comfort zone with what you are doing with art-wise, I don't mean you have to share those intimate details. You can show us the page or the journal. You don't have to open it up and let us into your inner circle. Guard that with all your might. People that's in your inner circle deserve to be there. They need to be trusted. They need to, can I say it? They need to earn your trust. Not every person deserves to be in your inner circle. So guard your peace, guard that. Some people are there just to go and gossip. I am in a process where I am really cutting my circle. If you find you cannot be yourself in the midst of somebody, it's time to turn around and walk away. Because if your inner circle is not there to guide you along, help you along, urge you on, encourage you when you need to, but also tell you the truth when you need to hear that, then it's time to walk away. And it also goes for you and your people that's in your inner circle. If you only there to take, but you don't give back in return, it's time for you to do the good thing and just step away from them, because we harm people more than we actually build them up. That's where I am in my process of my life journey at this point. And no, it's actually not sad. It is a time when you're young, you are friends with everybody, and then you see, you learn, and you grow. At this point, I have learned to really have a very small inner circle, a few people that I trust. I don't share everything with everybody anymore. I've learned quite a few hard, tough, uncomfortable lessons where I've trusted somebody and they actually broke my trust to go and spread whatever I had said to them in confidence to me. And that's why I said the other day, humanity needs to learn to trust people. And when I say trust people, I don't say trust every person that you meet. I mean to trust people in the sense when they had proven themselves to you. If you are valuing things rather than people, I think you should rethink. Over time, I realize people rather have you in their life because of what you can give to them, what you are meaning to them, but do they give the same value in your life? That's my thoughts of today and with journaling. And that's what's going through my mind when I sit and journal. Somebody had asked one day, why are there sometimes such long silences in your videos? And I said, those are the times that I start thinking, reminiscing. I think about things and work through things, and I come to conclusions. And sometimes I'm successful enough to edit it out, but there are in earlier videos longer silences, and those are the times that I've slipped to edit it out. Those are the times that I sit and I think about things. I work through things. And that's why crafting, especially journaling, is helping me so much. Journaling is one of those things that can help with mental health. It fights depression, anxiety. Being mindful here in the now is helping you to focus here, not on the things that might be, not about the things that were. It's here, it's right now. And those are important. Thank you for joining me. Go try this for yourself, and please tag Wawa Crafting on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up. And as always, I'll appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel too. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload new content. See you back soon. Goodbye.